A ripple effect that would be huge would be if Miami wins the ACC in 2025. We'll talk about that right now. Before we do, though, Miami fans, y'all been good to us. If you want to get all the content around your Canes, all the content around the wonderful sport that is college football, make sure you are subscribed. Appreciate y'all. Helps us out tremendously. So the first thought now, if this happens, how are you going to negatively recruit against Mario Cristobal? And you laugh a little bit because he's a great recruiter, and Miami has slowly but surely taken the steps on the field to be in position to make this a possible thing. But what's the negative recruitment or the negative thing people always say against Mario Cristobal, right now at least? Well, yeah, they got the NIL thing. Well, yeah, Miami's probably a cool place to live, but like, what have they done? It's always a substance conversation, right? Hard to argue with the trophy. All right, hard to argue with a team that not just wins the ACC, but at that point, locks up a spot in the college football playoff. There's no more to be said at that point in time against Mario Cristobal and what he's built there out there in Coral Gables. Also, you turn around and you say, well, we probably should have seen this coming, right? Because every single year, I just said this, they've gotten better. It's 5 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. It wouldn't be the most absurd thing ever if they made the college football playoff and won the ACC here in 2025. I'm just saying. Now, the part of this that would, I think, be most ripply, if you will, the impact we'd all feel across the college football landscape. Mario Cristobal, speaking of him being negatively recruited against, he's a dog on the recruiting trail. We've seen that. Feels like every single year Miami has the best class in the ACC. Multiple top 10 classes under Cristobal so far. If they were to make the playoff and win the ACC and they have that substance, you're arming him with ridiculous recruiting ammo. Most importantly, the recruiting ammo he could then use to recruit the state of Florida. If you win the state of Florida, on the recruiting trail that is, you have everything you need to win national championships, in my humble opinion. Very few states like that. I think Texas is one of those. I think you could argue California at their best is one of those if you're also able to recruit other parts of the country well in addition to that. But like if you recruit Florida, make no mistake about it. Look at those old Saban teams, Alabama, stockpiled with dudes from Florida, dudes from South Florida. And so when you have a pitch to guys to say, hey, stay home, stay within this 305 area code and you can do everything you want to do on the football field, there's no better pitch than that, dude. On top of the NIL, on top of the brand power, on top of everything that comes to Mario Cristobal in Miami, like that in itself, I think would be absolutely huge. Because you also think if you win the ACC, I don't think it's a stretch to assume that you probably beat Florida State, and who knows where you are against a team like Florida, but like put the hurdle on them a season ago in Gainesville, so all bets are off. If you can win the ACC and what that would do for your in-state recruiting, be huge, man. Be absolutely huge, and it would solidify Miami as a power in the college football world, I think, here for the next couple of seasons, as long as Cristobal is cooking like he's cooking on the recruiting trail. And the last thing I want to say, and we've said this a lot around Miami, a lot around Carson Beck, especially with what Cam Ward did last year, but that quarterback blueprint is there. It's absolutely there. Now, what happens with Shannon Dawson? Who knows? I know there was talk around him in the Rice job earlier when that whole thing became open. I don't think it's irresponsible to assume that, he will eventually at some point in time become a head coach. But it's still Mario Cristobal's Miami, where you make the pitch of, no, you come here as a quarterback. Cam Ward came here, first-round pick, first overall pick. Carson Beck, we win the ACC, make the playoff. I think it's fair to assume he will be a first-round pick. Whether it's the transfer portal, whether it's the high school level, you can then attract top quarterbacks, I think, with very minimal resistance, or at least very minimal resistance to the plan that you have in place. And if that's true, man, we keep saying this. Quarterbacks in college football, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. In modern college football, I should say. The 12-team playoff, the 16-team playoff, as this thing continues to expand, having a top-tier quarterback will only grow in importance. The rest of the roster, absolutely a big part of that. But having a quarterback, that will be the difference maker for you when you make the postseason and when you're in position then to go play for some hardware past your conference championship. And Miami winning their conference championship, I think, would only solidify their opportunity to bring in more top quarterbacks. Kind of the chicken or the egg situation. Cam Ward has success. Carson Beck has success. Other quarterbacks see Miami and say, I probably could have success too. Not a bad pitch to make. Not a bad spot to be in.